Look at them clouds, boys. Today's going to be a wet week, according to the forecast. Which is like fine, but like I try to go to the office 2 days a week, and if it's raining, I don't think I like the office enough to get the bus. Unless I like have no other option, you know? Like last week I went, but I needed my hair cut, so I had to go. And the other time I was like staying in town late, getting drunk, so I couldn't longboard. So there were two scenarios I got the bus, but otherwise I'm trying to avoid it if I can. But yeah, start of the week, it's Monday. We've got some like, it's not like work-wise, it's not that much of an exciting week. It's quite, there's some shit in the week that's like, oh god, I don't want to do that. But I'm taking, me and Laura yesterday had like a reframing, reposturing. We're going into this week like aggressively. And I think we can get a lot done. So I just need to start handing over responsibilities to the new estate. I need to be able to stay as close to them as possible though, to try and like learn from them and the way that they work, because it's clear that basically I was doing a good job of doing what the person before me did, especially considering I had double the amount of teams that that person had. I had 6, we had 3. But this person's coming in and now we're all going down to 2. I'm like, right, okay, so I was doing a good job of like the basics. Now I need to get good at the good stuff, you know? So we've got that going on. We've got stuff out of work, need to try and get fit a little bit better. Just, you know, just like proper, I've set up all the ducks, just got to knock them down now. Is that the phrase? I'm not sure. Laura had a headache after work, so she's now, had a headache, so she went to bed early. And I've been reading live tweets from the Apple versus Epic lawsuit, which is very entertaining. And I was like, oh, I just play a little bit of Doom, and I finish a level, then I speed run another level, and then it's Clonk. And I'm like, oh, let's have a quick game of Clonk, boys. And it's a bit late, so I need to go to bed. Surprisingly, after my morning of, we're going to do this week differently. More or less like an hour or 2 in, I felt like I'd felt before when I've been like, there's a very thin line between me, like staying, like there's a very thin line between me just like spiraling down and like just carrying on. Just fuck it, and I don't really know why, but it's just manic, and it's just so many people just want my time. My calendar is literally full this week. It's like you can't find a gap. It's crazy, and some of those are like I've put in time myself into my own calendar to make sure no one else can take any more time off me. There's like 2 things I need to prepare for that are coming up next week, on the 17th-ish, so yeah, next week. But anyway, but yeah, so it's been pretty manic. I've been trying to help I'm trying to help my teams, trying to help other teams, get into a bit of a tussle, playing some company politics with one team, and oh my god, it's just mayhem. It's going to be mayhem again tomorrow as well. I've got these fucking meetings to do. I've got these meetings to do where like the concept of them I'm not really bought in on initially. I don't really see the value. I can't figure out how to make it more fun. And I can't figure out how, so I don't really see the value. I can't figure out how to make it more fun. It's monotonous. No one likes doing it. And I've got to do it tomorrow with the team that doesn't talk. They're the like Romanian team. And you just can't bait them all into like a conversation. You know what I mean? Like all of the other teams, you can like kind of get talking and you can get like a discussion going. But it's just talking at a brick wall. Ugh. So, and those meetings are like talking to brick walls with the best of teams, you know? So I'm not looking forward to it, but it's going well otherwise. We've been so busy. And then I've got that, I've been so busy with like not much fun stuff, you know? And even in like the spare time I've carved out of my calendar, like that's just admin stuff for something next week I don't want to do. So I'm just in a very particular like chunk of time where I don't really want to do the things I've got to do, you know? I can't get into the stuff I want to do. Otherwise, after work, I went for a walk, went shopping, Came back, watched some Office until Laura went to bed and caved in with a headache. And then, like I say, reading some live tweets, playing Doom. What's not to love, man? And it's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. We're out on a walk. I went to bed way too late last night, couldn't get to sleep. But we're up now. Starting at 8:30. Today is one of those days, look. Not a cloud in the sky, but it's forecast to rain. If I went into town, into the office, it would rain. And if I stay at home, it's going to be sunny as fuck. Either way, yesterday it was forecast more rain than there is currently. So I'm not going into the office today. Sad times. I've also got so much work to do that it's probably better if I stay at home and have big monitors. Look at this little businessman. You doing some work? You're logging on, clocking in some hours, Mr. Mobo. Is that what you're doing? So look at that chin. Oh yes, look how clean that chin is, my baby. You've been cleaning that good and proper. You're so soft, Mr. Mobo. Why do you only sit in my room when I'm not here? You little bitch. Pretty good day today. That session I was talking about was actually pretty good. We did half of it. We're going to do another half, part 2 later, because it took a bit longer, because we actually started some discussions, which is kind of incredible. It's not happened before. So maybe I've discovered like a good way to do it. I've been doing some investigations, like trying to figure out good systems for introducing people to that process, you know what I mean? And I've done like a couple of different ways now. I've done like Microsoft whiteboards, had another go at like a Miro board. This is another take on that same Miro board. And I think I found it works. So that was good. Otherwise, got a little bit like peppered by people, but I managed to like try to support people to do some stuff. But otherwise, I was trying to get ahead of something I've got to do next week. It's very go. I've got lots of plates spinning at the moment. On top of those plates, I've also got like a deadline thing that I'm trying to hit. So I'm like trying to carve out time in my day to do that, even though I'm like, oh, but I need to do this, need to do this. And I've got like kind of mini deadlines. I've got all the plates I'm spinning, mini deadlines, and then like this big one at the end, and I'm like, God damn. So it's very busy. Another night last night, Monty at 4:30 in the morning decided, oh in fact there's another thing as well, decided to just come into the bedroom and just start like scratching the bed, like bop our feet, try and get in the wardrobe. And speaking of which, yesterday me and Laura are both in meetings. She's like taking notes on like a client meeting, like taking minutes and stuff, and I'm like literally walking a team of people through something. So like I'm running a meeting, reading things off my screen, and you hear this banging from downstairs. And I'm like, what is that noise? And Monty is just in the fucking kitchen, grabbing the kitchen cabinet with the plates in it. There's not even any food in there or anything. He's just grabbing the cabinet and just being like, just fucking hitting it against the fucking thing. I'm like, why? He started doing it the other night. Yeah, I was watching TV and you're like, what's that noise? And then, yes, that's his new favourite thing. But yeah, for some reason he was just being a knobhead at like 4:30 in the morning. You're like, what the fuck? But yeah, otherwise, the other thing, oh, that's what I was going to say from yesterday. Interesting like discussions kicked off between teams yesterday, where Scrum Masters got involved in like how teams, like the technical way that teams implement code, which is like crazy. But yeah, yesterday was pretty fun with like the odd meetings and stuff going around. I'm gonna keep going straight on. I've never been straight on here. I think I've got time. Got a continuation of that. I've literally got back-to-back meetings again, but it's been productive. So it's just I've got so many fucking plates to spin. I'm actually like legit really busy, and not even really busy. I used to have 6 teams and was really busy because I had 6 teams. Now I think what I've made the mistake of doing is picking up other things before I've fully dropped all of those teams. So I've still got like 3 teams at the moment. 3, yeah. And I'm like spinning people. I've got no battery, but I haven't got time to like do all the new stuff handle the teams I've got and hand stuff over to the other new people. It's very busy stuff. My like attempt to hit this week and like be a little bit different isn't really paying off particularly well. A couple of like extended meetings that weren't a crazy amount of fun today. We're getting there. We're chipping through. It was one of them days where like, you know, when you just like can't be fucked like that, and then like after work as well, I'm like, it's not boredom. It's just like don't want to do anything. You know? I'm just like, I don't want to do stuff. But I'm also, I don't know, it's weird. I can't explain the like headspace thing. But otherwise, we're making progress with stuff. It's just quite slow. Got lots of things to do. Like I say, this week is just like not a nice week. Particularly, there's like lots of admin-y stuff that I've got to do, which isn't like crazy amount of fun. But yeah, so after work, I just kind of put my pajamas on, watched some YouTube videos, played a little bit of Xbox, bummed about basically. We've had more or less torrential rain. Oh, I just sneezed, my eyes are blurry. All day today. So I didn't even put on proper jeans. I had a chill out pajama day, effectively. Played some Dishonored 2, I've started Dishonored 2 this morning. Then work. We're bringing this week to an end. I've got a lot of work to do for my like thing next Monday, which I'm not particularly excited for. I don't feel very prepared for it, but it's just like lots of, I keep getting sideswiped by stuff. Even my like focus times aren't getting much focus. But it was an interesting day. Lots of stuff going on. After work, I hit this really fucking irritating thing. You know this thing I've been doing about databases? And like I'm implementing this stupid ass database repository. Right? So there's a load of interfaces I need to implement for Mongo. And I was like figuring out how to test them and all this kind of shit. So it turns out I've completely like misinterpreted the interfaces. And it's because the interfaces have things like get password, where you pass in the user and then a cancellation token, right? So it's called iUser repository or iUser store. You go to it, get password with this user. I've been thinking that's kind of weird, taking that user, finding it in the database and giving you the password. That's not, by the looks of it. So I've today, because I found a more interesting question, I was like, how the fuck do, like, I could imagine some issues arising if this method acts the way it's supposed to. It's something like increment something, yeah? Increment count was the method on this user. Increment count X on this user. So I was going, right, so I've got to pass it, and then it returns the new number, right? So I was like, so I need to get it from the database. I need to select the item from the database, use a update script, and then a projection to extract it out after. Cool. And then spit it back out to the thing. And I'm like, okay, so I just need to figure out like how that works. Like, I'm assuming, you know what I mean? So I look for the most common, I'm assuming, the most common implementation of this, which is going to be like entity framework core thing. Go to it, and what it does is it just pluses 1 to the count on the user that's passed into the method. And all of the other things, like get password, it literally just does user.password return. It doesn't go to the database. So why am I calling the database to get me something if it doesn't go to the database? So now, because I'm assuming that is the most popular thing, what people are going to do is they're going to call in to like set password, and it's expecting the user that it passes in to update its values by reference and then call update. Whereas on mine, if you called set password, it would set the password in the database. It wouldn't have updated your user by reference because it's bad fucking habits to like change something that the user's passed into you if it's not returned. Like if I was to give something in, I wouldn't expect the thing I'd given it in to change. personally. So they do a number of set operations, then call update, at which point they'd update it back to what it was prior and break the whole fucking thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it never happened. And I don't know how many hours I've fucking wasted on that, and it pissed me off. So that's really frustrating. It's like a good kind of example of how I feel about life in general. I just fucking wasted time. Oh, another thing, what it does as well is it just does like a task.from result and then just spits back the value it's being given. I assumed, right, that the reason all these methods exist and you passed in the user was because like it's built for entity relationships in SQL, you know what I mean? Relationship databases. And then maybe you don't have a fully populated object. But I've got Mongo, so I've got that already. But I was going to the database because I thought, well, that's the way it would expect. Why do I pass it a cancellation token for it to go, oh, has this been cancelled? Have I been disposed of? That's what it does. You pass it a cancellation token, it goes, has this operation been cancelled? And then it goes, have I been disposed of? Can I connect to the database? Those three things. And then it just doesn't even look at the database, it just gets the value from the fucking object. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point? I just don't understand. It's frustrating. I had to use an SOS headspace meditation just to calm down. And it's another day, ladies and gentlemen. Today was a tough day for me. Yesterday was a tough day for me and my little nog. My little nog today was also not having a lot of fun. I basically had to parachute into a team to get something over the line for them, testing wise. But you just I don't understand how you misinterpreted what we were doing here so badly. Then they were off. It's just, oh god, they were off for the day. And I was like, I need to get in and do this. So I am like woefully unprepared for something that I've got to do on Monday. But yeah, otherwise started playing Dishonored 2 today, yesterday, but carry on playing it today. It's great fun. And otherwise, our start to a new week hasn't gone great. It's not that good a week. On a bit of a mad one today, boys and girls. It's a weekend, but we're being productive, very much so. Got up early, had a shave and whatnot because I seemingly forgot to have a shave yesterday. And then I've been out. I've got the fish for tonight. We've just got salmon fillets tonight, but went to the fishmongers. It's a lot more expensive than Sainsbury's, but we'll see how much nicer it is. And then otherwise, trying to just pick up a load of stuff we need. But we're also in like a bit of a race against the clock because it's going to rain this afternoon, or it's forecast to at the very least. And we need to pick up something and then do some DIY before that happens. We did it in the nick of time, ladies and gentlemen, because it didn't rain. So we were planning on doing some waterproofing, some like weatherproofing roof stuff, but it's been wet recently, and it's not dry enough for us to see where or if we need to. But we've done cleaned the bit, and I reckon it was mostly just like standing water, effectively, in kind of mossy, you know what I mean. So I've cleared it so it drained properly now, and we'll see, basically. And if not, worst case scenario, we've now got the waterproofing, and we'll put more waterproofing in. Otherwise, today's been a day of pottering and programming. Sorting all that out so Laura can do it. Just doing like a course thing over the weekend, 2 days before, then a weekend exam Monday. So lots of almost like uni revision style stuff. Went for a long walk. Had some dinner. We've been playing games. Played Ticket to Ride. Lost my first game. God damn. I had a 100% win streak. Not happy about that. Yeah. Bedtime. It's pretty late. It's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed. Laura went to bed earlier. She's got a little exam tomorrow. She's not been feeling very well today either, so not best. But otherwise today, got woken up again at stupid o'clock in the morning, like 4:30 by Monty. Don't know why, but every now and again it comes in. It's like he wants to play at stupid o'clock and like bop your feet underneath the duvet, and like he wants you to fuss him, but he won't like come up to arms. You know what I mean? He just stays by your feet. And I can't sleep sitting upright. So yeah, that was that. That's also why I always gone to bed early. What else? So today was a day of basically just like a load of programming. I've now fully caught up with where I was with that stupid database thing. I'm now like going through the next couple of things that would have been complicated had I gone the way I'd wanted to go. It's now just like fiddly from a testing perspective, but it's pretty simple. So yeah, and then I'm just kind of rolling around doing stuff, and then I should hit like, I'm doing a load of things that are like manipulating lists, which is like just a bit tedious, and then I should enter like a set of just a load of crazy easy stuff, and then like an update at the end. It should be fine. But yeah, chipping through that, playing a bit of Dishonored. That's what I was doing. She went to bed and I'm like, I'm going to do a little bit of Dishonored. And then an hour passed. Monty's come downstairs to say hello. The door was closed and he wanted to know what was going on. So we had a pretty stressful day today. Laura had a like exam, and just to do the exam like obviously digitally. She did like the tests for it yesterday to like make sure that the hardware would be good enough. And then basically during that we realised that since moving a desk used to be like here. Since moving a desk over there, her like internet connection has just gone like dog shit. God knows how she's noticed. How she didn't notice before yesterday that she only had 2 megabytes download speed. I don't know. But anyway, this caused some drama because there's all these rules about like she has to be in a room where like you can see all 4 corners, and oh, it's a mess, right? So anyway, yesterday we realised that we did a load of stuff today to try and figure out like how to improve that for her. I went downstairs and like turned off all internet usage, like just minimal things to try and like make it better, you know what I mean? So we've always had a mesh like Wi-Fi network since moving to this house, because like some of these walls are just like really fucking thick. Like if I'm like listening to, this is Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi, but like if I'm listening to Bluetooth from Atlas, so obviously like Atlas is there, Monty's there by the way. If I'm listening to Bluetooth from there, if I like stand here and do this, put the washing out, then like it's fine. But if I like kind of get the wrong alignment with the doors, it goes. And there's a couple of walls where, so we have one router like here, and the other router is like just behind that wall there. And that's basically because like all of these walls are just like so bad that we can't, like it has to be in like within line of sight, like more or less line of sight as much as possible. If it was to like stretch into this side of the wall, it's done. And all of that other stuff, right? Anyway, so having access to adult money is like, oh, I'm getting annoyed at, every now and again I've had issues with Atlas as well, where Atlas's internet's been relatively slow. Not as bad as hers, but like relatively slow, not the speed we pay for. So it used to be like down here, the other router. So having access to adult money, what we did, I just went online and I bought more nodes for my network. So I think now technically we have only 2 rooms without a Wi-Fi router in it. It's pretty impressive. So we have, basically I could have either bought like the new, I got Google Wi-Fi, obviously. Could have either bought the new Google Wi-Fis, or could have bought, options were buy the new Google Wi-Fis, use your words, Jamie, which would cost me like £120 for 1 extra node, or I could buy 2 of the old nodes for £99. And I was like, Oh, okay. So we moved the router from here to there, and now we don't have to do this weird finagle thing where the Wi-Fi, the internet comes in like a port there, and we had to feed it this way to the Virgin box underneath the TV, and then kind of back to the Wi-Fi router, the old, like the Virgin router, which is a modem, there, down to there, and then the Wi-Fi router as far this way as possible so it can connect out. Don't have to do any of that now. We've got one there. This bad boy is super close to that one there. And then we've got the one in my room, and now we've got the one on Laura's desk. So we've got 4 Wi-Fi routers and blazing 80 megabyte speeds everywhere in the house. Worth every penny. Also, I haven't tried the garden yet, but I imagine we'll get Wi-Fi in the garden now, because it used to, like, obviously previously they were both mainly at the front of the house. So we didn't have like, what's the word? Towards the back of the house, obviously the more walls you're going through, the less Wi-Fi you've got. But yeah, so that's great. Otherwise, today's been stressful. Obviously we had to deal with that this morning. That presentation that I was running towards, that deadline I said I had to do, was like a presentation thing. During the presentation, we just got like a combination of Wi-Fi issues here for some reason, but then also like VPN issues, Azure AD issues, and I ended up just like cutting it off halfway through because it wasn't like doable. Because I disconnected a couple of times, people said they couldn't hear me, and I was just like, fucked it, boys. So like, yeah, I just ended up having to cave it halfway through. I've recorded half the session. I'm trying to figure out now if I have to do the second half. I'm like, can I avoid doing the second half? Maybe. Oh, it's so much better now. We don't have 5 and however many wires going back and forth. But yeah, and then this afternoon, I've been putting people off to do my presentation. Got one team that's like kicking off because they want to merge stuff through, and I'm effectively blocking them because they haven't done their testing properly. And I'm like, look, just because you've done your tickets in a dumbass way doesn't mean you get to push shit through. And then like loads of just, you know, it's when it's the world, universe is against you and everyone wants your time all of the time. That was today. So finished that, went for a walk, calm the fuck down. Laura's currently going shopping. I'm pooped, she's pooped, we're all pooped.
Monty's a poop. How are you, poop? You pooped? You pooped? You tired, boy? Looking down on you like some kind of god.
Even things like this, which I bought at one point, which is a really fucking long Ethernet cable to go from the router there to the TV here. Don't need that anymore. Could have gone to the office today, and probably should have, but like in the middle of the day, the weather, look, I mean, like there's clouds, but it's lovely and warm. I'm kind of a bit too hot, to be honest with you. The weather today is like dry, sunny, 15 degrees, thunderstorms. And you're like, whenever it like predicts thunderstorms, that means it's gonna absolutely belt it down for like 15 minutes of the day. And I can't, with my longboard, reliably, I can't like rely on that not being when I need to go on my longboard. I'm assuming it will dry up relatively quick. Tomorrow looks dry, so I'll go into the office tomorrow. But after yesterday, I was a bit like swamped. A day at home with proper monitors, it's probably beneficial. Just need to figure out, there's a couple of things I need to figure out. But yeah, nothing really to report. I'm just kind of existing at this point still. Struggling to like do anything beyond that. But yeah, so yeah, that's the perpetual thing. I want to try and go swimming on Thursday. Go to the office tomorrow. I seem to do programming at the weekend, but like in the week. Monday, well, to be fair, Mondays are a weird day because of shopping. But I didn't go shopping. So maybe I've got no excuse. I don't know. Well, I was right about the rain. It absolutely fucking bounced down. About 5 minutes after I got back in the house, so that was good timing. otherwise today wasn't particularly productive. I managed to like clear some admin, and I've now got like no one chasing me, but I've just got to chip through for some stuff. I could have just like broken down at any point today. Like at any given point, I could have just started crying. I don't even know. It's just like, it feels like I'm frowning, like just behind my forehead, even when I'm not frowning. That won't make any sense, but you know what I mean. So it was a pretty shitty day, but we made it through, and another day is gone. Better day today. Didn't go into the office, but woke up. Went for a walk in the morning. There was like a talk that someone was doing from the company, talking to someone else. You know what I mean? Which was on at like 5, and then I don't want it, like tomorrow, for example, the all hands is at like 5:30, finishes at 5:30, and that's too late for me to leave town, you know? So I'm making excuses for tomorrow. But kind of a similar thing today, I wouldn't have had time to get back home to then watch this thing. But went for a nice longer-ish walk this morning. Had a relatively good day. Quite a few like meetings, like talking to people, which is good. Feeling somewhat better. Not initially, but like feeling somewhat better towards the end of the day for some reason. So yeah, tomorrow we should have a nice, relatively empty day. Afternoon at least is empty, which is exciting. I'm going to be pushing for some new stuff. It's going to be exciting. So, anyhow, I don't really have anything to say. You know what? First time in a while today, I actually did some programming, kinda. I've got to update some tests, the end-to-end packs in some other people's domains. I'm like, well, I could pick this up. But yeah, mad. Otherwise, today I got like a little half-hour walk in before it just tipped it down with rain. It's been raining all day, very miserable. Otherwise, quite a productive day. Lots of meetings as well, but still productive. An empty afternoon where I could actually like chip out some actual work. I've like started managing to start stepping back from like the majority of my teams now, so I can like focus in one area, and like, oh god, it's so much better. But otherwise, god damn, I don't have anything else to say. Half day Fridays today. Raining all day, every day. It does nothing but rain. So I haven't left the house. What has gone on though? Quite a bit of programming today. Just bringing up these test suites back up to running, and also getting up our new test suite. Trying to get the repo set up. I want to try, at the moment, all of our end-to-end regression packs all run in releases, and I want to put it into a pipeline. So I'm having a go at moving it over to a pipeline run instead. So yeah, it's well, I mean, yeah, either that or I could just create a release. We don't create these releases anymore. It's a legacy thing, the releases. And I feel like we should take the opportunity to move forward. So I was having a go at that. Otherwise, this afternoon, played a little bit of Dishonored. Did quite a little bit of programming upstairs. I can't figure out how to like using Rider. I just like can't configure it the way that I want it to be configured. It just pisses me off. Little things like the way that the comments are like auto-generated, or the things it doesn't help with. Like, what I don't get is VS Code is better. It's not even as good as Visual Studio. Like, you know what I mean? It's not even like it's competing with Visual Studio. It's like VS Code, but in a different skin and slower and worse. I don't understand. But yeah, so hey ho. The amount of things I've seen are being like, I'm leaving Visual Studio for this. I'm like, I won't even leave VS Code for this. And Visual Studio is better than both of them, but Visual Studio is only on. The reason I was even interested was for performance reasons. Was like, my laptop's pretty slow. Can I run this? Would it be better? No. VS Code is the better option. But yeah, so I'm like nearly at the end of the thing. I've got a couple of like more complicated things to hunt through and stuff. but I'm getting to the end of a little chunk. I should be able to finish that this weekend, hopefully. But we've got a couple of little pottery odd jobs to do around the house, and stuff. We're going out for a meal. Oh, it's gonna be so fucking good. I haven't been to a restaurant in a long ass time, and it's a really good one as well. It's one of our faves. My God, guys. Quite a productive day today. Got up early, 6:30. Should have been 6, but 6:30. Got up, did a load of programming, played some games. We did quite a bit of prepping for DIY today. We went out to the shops to go pick up some tools for more DIY, outside DIY. But we didn't do it because we were dodging the rain that never came. It's never right, Mr. Moo Moo. We were forecast rain in like 30 minutes for the whole day. But yeah, otherwise started to chomp through the last little bits of my repository system. And we went out for a meal today. First time been in a restaurant since like help out to eat out last year. Went to one of our favourite like Italian places. I had duck ragu and oh, it was fucking gorgeous. God damn. It's really nice as well just to just go out and do something, you know. Next time we've got another one booked in like a month's time. Everywhere books up so quick these days. But yeah, so it's proper good. So yeah, just kind of a bit podged now. I swear I go through a lot of batteries. To say how little I vlog. I go through a lot of camera batteries. Maybe these camera batteries are getting a bit old. I need to buy some more. I don't know. Otherwise today, pretty productive start. Got up early, did a load of programming. I finally finished that bloody thing I was talking about. So now I need to figure out what I was doing before I ended up having to do this huge task. But we sorted out our fence, so one of our fence posts was wobbling. We got some brackets and bolted it into the wall. That was a pretty quick job as well, just like drill, tighten some bolts, and then just like fucking 4 screws. It's fucking sick. So pretty proud of that, pretty chuffed for that job. And then otherwise, day of programming, Formula 1, Monaco, dog shit race. What else? Cleaning, all that standard stuff really. Dinner, more cleaning. Living the dream. I feel like I've been getting quite good at 5-minute chess. I'm at like 850 range now, which is good. I was struggling, I was like kind of stagnant at the 700 range. I feel like I'm getting better. So that's good. Monty got wormed today and he's pissed. I definitely changed the battery yesterday, right? And it's dead. There we go, 100%. See how long that lasts. I actually didn't even know where the cat was. I thought I was coming upstairs to show him you. Today, pretty good day. Chomped through some stuff, got annoyed at pipelines and releases and all that shit. Figured it out in the end. I'm now getting... The problem with pipelines is they're using pipelines to lock down like all the test environments for good reason. Oh my fucking god! Monty shit me off. My lord. Yeah, so the problem is obviously tests aren't code releases. And yeah, so that's like the reason I think why the tests so far have all been running releases, because they've got less control effectively over what environments they're running. But yeah, I just need to figure out now how to get it working in staging. And then probably we should have the same protections that we did have. So yeah, that was fun. No bits of programming and standard stuff obviously throughout the day. Walk in the morning, no walk in the afternoon. It's been so wet recently. It's just like constant rain. Went shopping. It's gonna be a weird week because like Laura's going to Nottingham at the end of the week, so it's like a weird meal week. I was going to go down to the office, but probably Wednesday now, actually, not Tuesday, because I think it's going to be raining again tomorrow. But Wednesday should be dry, Thursday should be dry, but I probably won't go down because Laura's going Thursday night. So yeah, Gonna be a fun week. Oh boy. Another wet day today. Torrential as well. There's been so much fucking rain recently. It was so dry and so hot for so long, and now it's just fucking raining all the time. It's a crazy town. Productive day at work. I was here, but at work. Until about the afternoon, and then it kind of like derailed a little bit. But I can't actually remember what went down, to be honest with you. I've been faffing around with pipelines and trying to integrate these things with some other stuff. It's going well. I'm trying to pull in some other resources and run it now. And I'm also trying to figure out, what am I trying to figure out? Oh, I've got a meeting to do tomorrow for the last of these sessions for a team I don't run anymore. I'm not looking forward to it. But I'm thinking of going to the office tomorrow. I think it's going to be dry. Fuck yeah, it's dry all day, boys. Dry all day. What's the weather like over the next couple of days, actually? Oh, it's going to be a dry weekend. Holy smokes. But yeah, so looking forward to that. Otherwise, after work, I was doing some programming on my own. I finished my repositories now. So I'm just modifying my pipelines. Ironically, doing pipelines at work and at home. Fiddling around with it to make it kind of build, then spread out to do the tests, because like the tests are going to be, there's the unit test stuff, which is quick. To be fair, I could just do that in the build bit. But I want to kind of parallelize the integration tests. I want to be able to spin up Docker things and stuff like that. So I'm having to play with that. And what else? It actually reminds me, I need to actually set up the Docker images to do that. I have them for the integration test, but not for this component repository dependency test. That's the word I went with. But yes, I've been faffing around with that basically. It's bedtime. Look at this, look, we're back. Oh, it was a little bit damper than I expected this morning, like it hadn't had enough time to dry on the ground, but longboarded in, no problemo. I cut it quite fine today, because I ordered something on Monday that I ordered for click and collect, and it was 2 to 4 day. And I was like, I'm coming in on Wednesday. And what I forgot was, as of tomorrow, Laura's taking the car when she goes back to Nottingham. I was like, oh shit, so that means I need it to be dry. And today was like the only dry day, but it's going to be a dry weekend by the looks. We're cruising home, guys. Wearing yellow t-shirts, all the bugs are flying at me. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Should we end this video? Probably makes sense. Good times. Pretty quiet. There's 4 of us in the office today, and the problem is like when there's like above 3 but like less than 6, it's kind of like awkward to kind of like talk. You know what I mean? When there's like 2 of you can talk. When there's like 3, you can kind of like whatever. But then it's like when there's kind of like 3 different groups of people, that's when it becomes a bit like odd. So it was a bit quiet. I spent a lot of time on calls as well, talking to people trying to get things understood and whatnot. It's a pretty productive day. To be fair, I just got pulled away from what I wanted to spend time on. Otherwise, not a lot really. Came back, cooked dinner. We got Now TV, and we were going to watch some stuff, but everything like disappears soon. I don't understand the premise of this Now TV. Obviously, we have Now TV for Formula 1, but like the entertainment thing, because nothing's on there for very long, so we have to like binge watch everything. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like these things have only just come out, and yeah, it's like off in 8 days. So anyway, but yeah, that's all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't know why. Don't know if you'll ever see it. Fuck it. But yeah, we should have a fun hip hopping long ass video, which will only be 4 days long, because that's how many days I'm on my own for. Yeah. Also, we have to put boxes in front of the cupboards now because Monty bangs them. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you later.